Hey all, welcome to my running channel. My name is Nguyen and this is the Mango Runner. If you haven't been to my channel, this channel I'll talk about marathon running and ultra running, but this year, because I don't have any road running races, it's pretty much all about ultra trail running. So today's main topic is going to be about races that I use for training and how do I use it and what I do for it. Other things that I'm going to cover is a brief update on my current training for the races. I'm going to talk about my first goal races for this year, and then the few races I had this year that I use for training and fitness testing. Well, a brief update on my training for this year. I really haven't done a lot of mileage that I really wanted to, and that I was able to train a lot the other years, like getting up to 80 miles and 100 miles per week for a goal race, especially for ultra trail running. But this year so far, I really only got up to like 50 miles. I think I hit like 70 once or twice. And besides that, I had like these race training in between. Now the last 2 weeks, I got up to on average about 54 miles. Not a lot, but it's not too little. And 2 weeks away from my goal race. And this week I'm going to be doing about roughly 30 to 34 miles. And then next week is maybe about 15 miles for the week, and then I have the race starting on Friday. So my first goal race of the year is the country mile. This is the first year that Upstate Ultra have it. There is the 50K, the 5K, and then the 24 hours, and also the 48-hour race that I am going to be in. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the first race that they're going to have for the country mile, and this is the very first race for me for the 48-hour race as well. Now the closest race I have done that is 38 hours that I kept on moving is the Cloud Splitter, which I did 38.5 or 38 hours in roughly 30 minutes. And the longest that I've been in a race is the, knock on wood, the second time I did it, which took me forever because I actually slept like once or twice, and that was my very first ultra that I finished 100 miles, and that one was like 39 hours and 30 minutes. But the Cloud Splitter is the one that I kept on going and walking last year, and I have a video on that if you want to check it out. So even though I didn't do a lot of running that I wanted to get the mileage in, I did have some pretty good races this year to train out for my goal races. The first one is the POW 30 hours. Really just want to see what my fitness is in that one, and got up to I think like 62 miles or so. So that was the first race just to see what my fitness was. And the very first race that I used for training was Conquer the Rock, and I did complete that one. That was a 50K, climbing up Pinnacle and to Table Rock, doing the loop twice, coming back. I felt pretty good. I didn't go all out, but it was pretty much like 80%, and it was pretty tough climbing up for both times. And I don't climb a lot. I don't have a lot of places to climb a lot here, but maybe like 300 or 500 feet of elevation each time I run. So doing that, and that was like 8,000 feet of elevation, that was a lot for me. But it was a good test to see where I was at, and really training and using my nutrition as well. The very last race training I did was last weekend, which was Epic Run, and that was in Greenville. It was very, very close, so very, very convenient. And I ran with Tim, and we were just really working on moving in the trails with also trying out the nutrition that we're going to use in a race to see how it feels. And that's what you need to do, is really try all the stuff that you're going to use, including equipment and food in the race, in the training, so you know if something doesn't work out, you can make the adjustment before the race instead of finding it out during the race. So the last race I did, well, training race I did this weekend was 20 miles, and really just going around, walking and jogging and trying my hammer nutrition that I will be using in the race. So that will be the last long run with nutrition. This weekend I'll probably do about 10 miles or so, and then next week pretty much take off until the race. Alright, so back to using races for training. I'm very fortunate that I live in the upstates where we have a race director that has races like almost every 2 weeks or so, and has a lot of 100 milers, 24-hour races, 30-hour race, 50Ks, you know, and so long. And the good thing about it is that it's close and it's not too far. It's in Greenville or in Spartanburg, and I live right in the middle, and I don't have to travel really far away, because you know, when you have to travel like 8 hours away and you drive and you get tired and it's the weekend and then you have to go back to work, you can take a toll out of you if you have to do that, and you have to work and you have other, you know, commitments that you have to do. But because it's so close to here, I just have to sign up, drive about 30 minutes away, and then I can start on the race and then see how that feels, come back, still get some rest, and still have my weekend. So great to have a local race that you can use for training. Yeah, so if you live in upstates, around the area, or even an hour away, I think it's totally worth it, because the experience of running with other runners and being in an environment, it's a lot different than doing it by yourself or doing with a friend. It's better to do with a friend if you can, but a lot of times, you know, you're running, you know, you run so much that not everybody have the same schedule as you, so you have to do it by yourself a lot. But doing it in a race, you get to see people, you get a feel race hype feeling, and then try to get all your nutrition and running, and you actually have fun doing it at the same time. So I have 3 things about race training. Number 1 is, like I said earlier, is finding local races near you that you can use for training runs, and like an hour, or I think even an hour and a half is okay, but anything further, you know, you might have to reconsider if that takes too much energy out of you. Number 2 is a race that you use for training is great for working on your nutrition. Like whatever you're gonna use and drink in the race, you want to bring that in the race and pretty much do the exact same thing you would in a race. So if something happens and you don't do well, you know what is happening, you can at least analyze and you can adjust and change it up before the actual race itself. So the more that you can actually do it in a training run and in a training race, then you will be better off in the race. The third thing is, when you're in a training race, try to be focused. I know, because you're so hyped up in a run, a lot of the time you get carried away and you might be doing a lot more than what you are wanting to or expecting to. So when you get into a race and it's a training race, make sure that you really focus on what's your goal, what are you trying to accomplish. Is it, you know, nutrition? Are you trying to cover a certain distance for the training? Or are you working on like certain terrains? So have that in mind already, so that way you just need to accomplish that and then you can move on. The worst thing you want to do is go overboard and then get injured, or ran too hard where it took you a lot longer to recover, and then your race is in like 3 weeks and it's not enough for you to recover. Yeah, so focus on the reason why you're there. It's really to train for your goal race. It's not your goal race. So if you have a chance to do a race for training, I would highly recommend it. It's actually fun, and then you can actually work on all the stuff that you're gonna do in the race. But remember, a caveat is don't get carried away. Don't be in the race where you're actually doing so much more than what you're there for, because you don't want to have anything that happen to you that give you a setback for your training for your goal race. Really just hold yourself accountable for what you're doing at the race, because that race is a training plan for the real deal. Well, the first goal race is less than 2 weeks away. Haven't got a lot of mileage in like I wanted, but I think it would be fun just to be out there with the trail folks, just go camping, walking and jogging through the night. Hopefully I can go through the night, and then I know I can stay up for 48 hours straight. I haven't done that before, ever. I mean, I got close to it like in a 40-hour, but I'm gonna see what I can do. You know, even if I need to walk a lot or, you know, take a quick nap or something, 40 hours is a long time, so there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs probably. So I need to make sure that I handle that really well, or think about it before you even get into the race. So when I actually ran into the issue, how am I going to handle it? Do you think the video was helpful? Please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend if you think it helps them with their training. Subscribe if you want to follow along with the journey. I'm going to do a race video, so I'm going to plan this time to bring my camera, because I lost it for the 24-hour race that I did last week, so I didn't do a video, but I left it in my mom's car, so I just got it and make sure everything nothing's charged. I am going to do a race vlog just like the other races, try to give an update instead of like every 10 miles, maybe like every 8 hours or so. I'll see how it goes, how I feel. Yeah, comment below if you also do races for training. Let me know what race you do, how far it is, and what are your opinions on that. Well, I hope your running and training is going well. Stay active, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.